Hello everyone. I hope that you're all doing really well. It's really nice for you guys to be here. I know it's a Monday, usually a Tuesday, but thank you so much nevertheless for being here. How is everyone this week? I'll tell you how I am today. I am freezing. It is for those of you who are in the UK, how cold is it? It was in December. I don't know what's happened. The temperature has really dropped. And again, I just cannot get warm. I don't know what's wrong with me. Just so cold. But anyway, we are not starting off with moaning. It is wonderful. I mean, the sunsets are amazing, not gonna lie. It's been frosty, but there at least there's sun. So thank you for all of you for joining me today. Where are you all from? You know, I love knowing where you are tuning in from the world. Sean, you're not old. You're probably cold, but you're not old. Pack it in. So, do you know what? I'm really glad. I am really glad that you guys chose this topic this week, about self-love after the narcissist. I'm really glad because I think it's a really important topic, and especially it being Blue Monday today. And for those of you who don't know what Blue Monday is, do you know what? I don't know if they have this in the States. If they do, please let me know. But Blue Monday is that kind of Monday, mid-January, that everybody just feels low. It's like, I think it's kind of like it's classified one of the like most depressive days of the year. And that's why it's called Blue Monday, because it's kind of like 2 weeks after Christmas. And it's kind of everyone's just getting back into the swing of things. West Coast USA, New Mexico. Oh my God, it's amazing. Do you know what? I was in New Mexico like about 10, 15 years ago. Amazing place. Love it there. UK. Akko Hassan, just in the description box, there's links where you can contact me. Balboa, South Wales, of course, Sean. Hello. India, wow, all the way from India. Las Vegas, love that place. Love Las Vegas. Colorado. Guys, so you are from all over the world, and I guess in the States it must be you're like 5, 6 to 8 hours behind the UK, so it's like the middle of the day. Oh, and it's King Martin Luther Day. That's so cool. And Canada, I bet it's cold there as well. Norway, I bet that's freezing there too. Serbia, beautiful place too. Sweden. I've been to Sweden. I have a friend, actually, I was in Sweden probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I have a friend there. So yeah, cold, very cold. We went in February. Yeah, amazing. So yeah, you guys are from all over the world. It's amazing that you are able to be here. We're all able to be here, at this time. I just think, just always blows my mind. I think it's just so wonderful. And from Denmark. Oh, this is so wonderful. Bulgaria, East Coast. It's so cool. So cool. So today we're talking about self-love. But self-love means different things to everybody. So we're going to talk about basically what it means for each and every one of us, and how we can make it work for us, basically. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, how is everyone doing? From Bali, Indonesia. Oh wow, that's amazing. I really want to go there. Really want to go there. I'm hopefully planning my trip to Bali next year. So Sean, you said you met a Polish man who said it's snowing heavily in Krakow. Yeah, it probably is. It's cold there. They have like proper seasons over there. Yeah, so right, this talk, or to this week, we're going to be talking about self-love after the narcissist. Okay, so we know, right, we know that when we're in these toxic relationships around toxic people, they take so much from us. They take our energy, our emotions, our time, our finances, like the whole lot. All right. And we lose ourselves in this. We lose ourselves in this process. And we forget about ourselves, don't we? We forget to look after ourselves because we're so focused on making sure that these people are okay. Oh, because it's constructed that way, isn't it? So we forget about our own needs, our own self-care. We don't have time, or we don't even have the bandwidth, because it's kind of like our attention and our focus is taken away from ourselves. You know, it takes a lot to give someone like literally 95% of our attention all the time, every day, just, and day or night, it's them, isn't it? Because they drain us emotionally and psychologically. And isn't that really sad that this is what they do to us? And at the end of it, when we leave these relationships, we are a shell of our former selves. We have anxieties like through the roof, depression, suicidal ideation perhaps in some cases. You know, like, that isn't normal. You know, when you leave a relationship to feel like that. Or even if we have family members who are narcissistic, they just drain us. They demand our time, that we do things for them. And it's just, we don't have time for ourselves. And really, this live stream really is about a reminder that actually we matter, and that we need to actually put this at the forefront. You know, that we have to care about ourselves, that we have to put the attention and make time to look after ourselves, to care for ourselves, because actually, if you think about it, we're the most important. It's like I say in all of my lives, you know, our life is ours. It's nobody else's. No one else is supposed to be telling us what to do, how to feel, how to dress, what to think, what not to think, what to do. You know, we have our own free will, and being with narcissistic individuals, that gets taken away from us. That gets taken or clouded by their needs. And this is where it becomes very toxic, as you all know. And we lose ourselves in this process. And during this time, whilst we're in this, we don't even realize that it's happening. Okay, because it's kind of like so much of our attention, our energy, our emotion is taken by these people. And so as we leave, as we're not with them anymore, you know, sometimes it could be that we are left with the trauma bond, especially at the beginning. We are left with the trauma bond, like overthinking how and why, and still in some cases wanting that person back, because we didn't get closure. We didn't have the understanding. We didn't even know that we were in these dynamics. So actually, this is us taking our power back. That is what is important. It's about us taking our power back and actually thinking about ourselves for a change. So really today, I really wanted to talk about why it's really important to have self-love, self-care. And also I wanted to touch on the subject, the difference between self-care versus narcissism. Because, do you know, I've got to say this, I put the polls out a few days before, you know, the lives. Usually it's on a Saturday or a Sunday over the weekend. And I don't know if this person is on the live right now, but someone wrote in the comments that isn't self-love narcissistic? Isn't it very much about the Greek mythological character Narcissus, who looked at his own reflection in the water and fell in love. But it's not the same thing. It's very different. And I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more, about the difference between self-love and actually narcissism, because I think a lot of people mistake it for that when you love yourself, you become selfish and self-absorbed. But that's not what this is about. That's really what this is not about. So if you guys are enjoying the live so far, which I really hope that you are, could you press the like button, please, guys? It would make me very happy, and it would show your support, because this information will basically, the algorithm will push it out, and I'll be really grateful for that. So for me and for other people potentially who are going through this, it will really help other people in the community. And also, can you guys hear me all right? It will, can you guys hear me? Just please press yes. Please tell me you can hear me. It's okay. My setup isn't great. Like, I'm so glad you can only see this part here, because it's not great. It's a bit of a mess. Yeah, so really just, talking about the difference between narcissism and self-love. So if you guys can hear me all right, can you just press a yes in the comments? Thank you. And also press the like button. Thank you. No, I won't stop the live. Thank you, Sean. My voice has gone really croaky as well, so I do apologize. A bit more would be good. Okay, guys, sorry. This is like, I'm here. Of course you can't hear me. It would only be you, wouldn't it? You can. Okay, so everyone else can hear me apart from one person. Okay, that's fine. All right, so self-love. What does it mean? Guys, what does it mean? It means to fully accept yourself. That's what it means. It means to fully accept who you are. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for letting me know. I really appreciate it. It is also about, you know what, treating yourself with kindness. It's having your own back. It's about also caring for yourself, having compassion for yourself. It's about nurturing yourself, respecting yourself. And the only way that you can accomplish all of this, guys, is connecting to yourself. It is the only way. It is literally the only way. This is why I talk about it so much, and even why I'm writing a book about it, that actually when you connect to yourself, you know what it is that you need. You know, you have all of the resources already within you to see you through life, to see you through this, to see you through this healing journey. Because as we know, this healing journey isn't just getting over a relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person. It's about actually so much more. It's about those missing gaps, those filling in those missing gaps that we didn't. And actually, with these people in our life, they were able to show us this, weren't they? They were able to show us what we were missing. I know, like in a really awful way, but in a way, it kind of showed us what we were missing. And this is our job, to fill in those missing pieces. The kindness, the respect, the compassion, the nurture, and generally looking after our own well-being. There's a lot more, obviously, into it than just connection to self. It's also how you treat yourself. How do you treat yourself? Do you look after yourself like you would, I don't know, your child, your pet, your parents, for example? Do you look after yourself in that capacity? Now, like literally just ask yourselves this. Do you do that for you? It's also about noticing. Thank you so much, the guy next door. Thank you. I really appreciate it. In fact, it becomes toxic if a person wants to direct us away from self-love. This is exactly what the narc did. Our own well-being is not selfish. You are absolutely right. Thank you, the guy next door. That sounds so weird saying that. I know. Thank you, the guy next door. No, but I know that's your handle. Anyway, yes. So, yes, that is a really, really good point. Actually, it does become toxic when someone wants to take us away from our self-love. That's a really, really good point, and very, very prominent. So we should highlight this, that actually it is really bad. It's really awful that somebody would want to do that, because they take our attention away from ourselves. It's not selfish to want to look after you, to, you know, show yourself the kindness and compassion. But when someone is taking that away from you, that is abusive. It is abusive. So from that, what we learn is that we have to put boundaries or protection in place so that we don't allow abusive people or toxic people into our lives, because that's what it is. It's abuse. When somebody is taking something away from you that is already rightfully yours, that is abuse. The other thing that we really need to think about is how we talk to ourselves. And I know that I've talked about this before in the lives and also on the shorts as well. Are you guys enjoying the shorts? Because they've just done a bit of a different style over on YouTube. Yeah, so they're a little bit different to the videos, but yeah, I really changed it up a bit on the shorts. So let me know what you think of them. Anyway, so I know that I talk about this quite a bit on the shorts, about how we talk to ourselves. I could do literally a whole live on this because I think it's so important. Our own narrative, how we speak to ourselves, what we say to ourselves in silence when no one is listening. It doesn't mean that we shout out, abusive words to ourselves in public. No. These are the words that nobody hears. These are the ones on what we say to ourselves when no one is listening. And that is what is important. Yes, you're right. Self-sabotage. That's exactly what it is. And so many of us don't actually even recognize that we are doing this, that what it actually is. Self-sabotage is putting ourselves down. And it comes from childhood. Oh, yes. The blasted childhood. Yes, my friends. It's from childhood. So what that is, it's formed from opinions from the past, opinions from our childhood. It could have been our parents. Not like most of them didn't mean it because it happened to them and they were just repeating, their own childhood, how they were bringing us up. Some did mean it, I guess. But it's about others, usually our parents or caregivers, who put us down in childhood. Or they may have said things that maybe we interpreted a different way as children. And this is what we had embodied. And this is the narrative, how we speak it, what we say about ourselves. So it's formed from other people's opinions. And these opinions then make up our beliefs. And then from our beliefs is our value system. It's the values that we hold and opinions that we hold about ourselves. But can you see that they're actually somebody else's opinions of you? So as children, we don't realize what we're doing, like this, what's happening, because as children, we're so young. We don't realize, we don't have the capacity to be able to, understand it in a different way. We just go with what our parents tell us, or we go with what our caregivers tell us. So this becomes like our beliefs about ourselves. So think about the way that we speak about ourselves. Do we call ourselves swear words when no one's listening? Listen, I've done it so many times, and I'm not gonna lie, like I do. I used to. I don't anymore. But we all do at some point, and we need to catch ourselves doing that. Okay? That's your homework for this week, guys, is literally think about the way that you speak about yourselves. how you address yourselves. Because how you see yourself is how others will see you. If you don't respect yourself, if you think you're not good enough, if you think you are nothing, if you think you can't do this or you can't do that, it's like this old saying, whether you think you can or you can't, then you can or you can't. I think that's how it goes. I've probably got it wrong. Probably one of you, just correct me, please. If you think you can, you can. That's it. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. That was it. So it's really about that statement. Can you see? It's like, if you think you can do it, then you can. And if you think you can't, then you can't. So it's about how you see yourself, like how you project yourself out there. So other people will form opinions of you based on how you feel and think about yourself. No one's going to sit there and analyze you. Oh, thank you, Sean. I hope it helps. No one out there is going to analyze you. Like, no one has time for that. Everyone's too busy thinking about what they need to get for dinner or what they're doing this evening or what they had done, whether this person likes them or not. That's what people's minds are just cluttered with loads of other things. So no one is going to sit there and help you out with this. This is why it is your responsibility to do this. This is why you need to think about this. This is why you need to really listen to the way that you speak to yourselves, the way that you form those narratives, those beliefs about yourselves. If you are someone who is constantly putting yourself down, think about your self-esteem. Do you even have one? You are going to feel absolutely awful. You're going to feel like you are not good enough, like you can't achieve anything in life. You're just going to feel depressed. I mean, God, I would. If someone was putting me down all the time, like, wow, I'd be feeling depressed. I'd be feeling so bad all the time because I think I would be no good enough. So if you're speaking to yourself like that, then that's what you feel. You feel like you're not good enough. When actually, each and every one of you is. And I think what's so important as well, I've just got to mention it here, is that you guys are working on yourselves. You are here. You know, you're in this community. I know that you probably watch loads of videos on YouTube trying to understand it. I know it's not only just mine, which is absolutely fine, of course. You are doing this for you. You know, you are putting in the time and the effort to educate yourselves, to elevate yourselves, to understand this, to put this to some meaning, to understand the greater meaning of this. That is what's important, is that you guys are working on yourselves. You're putting in the time and the effort. Nobody wants to do this because it's hard and it's tiring and it's time consuming. It's time consuming. Trying to heal, trying to do this, you know, every single day, it's time consuming. And sometimes you don't feel good. You've put in all this effort and sometimes you don't feel good because we know that the healing journey isn't linear. It's, you know, it's like a roller coaster. Some days it's going to be good and some days it's going to be bad. So, hello, Midnight Blue. So, you know, it's about you guys are doing this for you. You know, you're putting in the effort and the time and the energy to do that, which is so, so important. That's what this is about. You know, you're putting yourselves first. So this is an example of self-love or self-care. So really catching these thoughts that we have, thinking about the way that we speak about ourselves is really important, because then it forms the thoughts that we think. That's where I was going with that. So it's about our thoughts as well. And I put out a post, I think, earlier this week or last week, that we are not our thoughts. Do you know, I was talking with my neighbour a couple of weeks ago, and he works in insurance, a very, very kind of like high-powered job. Anyway, we were putting the bins out, and we just got talking, you know, as you do. And he was like, "Hi, how are you? How is everything? How was your Christmas?" I was like, "Yeah, It's great. It's quite boring actually, but yeah, it's great. Anyway, and so we got onto the topic of psychology because he knows what I do. So he was like, oh, Anushka, I bet it must be like really busy for you this time of year, and blah, blah, blah. And I said to him, we got onto the subject of thoughts, and I said to him, he's like, oh yeah, because I keep overthinking and then thinking this. And I said, you are not your thoughts. Do you know what? He scratched his head and he really didn't get it. He really, really didn't understand what I was saying. And I thought to myself, oh, he doesn't understand it. And it was so cold, and I'm thinking I don't have the time to really explain this to him. So that was that. So anyway, the moral of the story is we are not our thoughts. And I know a lot of people struggle with this, to understand that our thoughts are not us. We can be observers of our thoughts, but our thoughts, again, are formed from our memories, from past life experiences, from things that we had done before, things that maybe we had experienced as children, things like this. That's what it's formed from, and we then attach emotion and meaning onto this, and that's how it forms a memory. So when something happens, or when we're like going about our day, these thoughts do pop up, and these thoughts, really they're there to protect us, but sometimes it can give us the wrong information, or it can give us information that's based on our past, our childhood life experiences, or life experiences like from previous. So sometimes we can get it wrong because the interpretation of that experience that we had made as children, that's as children. We are now adults, and so it recalls that. And so what I'm trying to say is that our thoughts that's yes, at least you are not really that guy from next door who didn't understand what I was saying. Do you know what? People rarely do. And this is why I struggle. I think, do they really understand what I'm saying? Because they, when people say to you, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, I say, oh, I'm a psychologist, and I don't really say that I do YouTube, because then they're like, oh my God, that's so wonderful, and then they start talking to you more and more. So not always. I don't always say that, yeah, I'm on YouTube. So yeah, I say that I do psychology, and then they're like, oh, are you reading my mind? I'm like, no, I'm not a psychic. Psychologist, not the same thing as a psychic. So yeah, this is what you get. And then they start asking you about the mind and how it works, and you're like, oh my God, really? So yeah, so I just kind of, sometimes I just say that I'm like, I work in a checkout, in the supermarket, because it's like, you just don't want to talk. Sometimes you just don't want to talk. You don't want to say it. Anyway, we are digressing, guys. We are digressing. I am, not you. I am. So our thoughts, constructed from past experiences, and it comes up. It just comes up because it's just to help us kind of make sense of what's going on, but it's also there to protect us. And sometimes, this protection can be not what we need at that time. So I encourage you also to really think about the kind of, or to observe the thoughts that you have. Okay, to observe the thoughts that you have, and observe the feelings that you have about yourself. What kind of emotions are coming up for you? What feelings do you have about yourself? How do you feel about you? Do you like yourself? Do you like who you are? Because this is another big thing. This is another huge part of the puzzle, is how you feel about yourself. Because if you don't really understand yourself, you don't really know how you feel about yourself, maybe you like yourself some days, not other days, this is also a big predictor on how much love or how much care you're going to provide yourself. And this is about being your friend, your own friend. Because we are taught not to do this for ourselves. Actually, if you really think about it, not only our experiences with the narcissist, but also if we go way back into childhood into school? Were we ever taught self-care? Were we ever taught how to self-love? No. No, we weren't. I know that I wasn't. And this is such a shame. This is a real shame that we were never taught how to do this. And generation upon generation, none of this is taught. It's not even talked about. And it's really sad that such young, such young humans, the kids, they grow up not understanding this. It's only after we get into our adulthood that we think, okay, so this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what's supposed to happen. And I think that is such a shame. I think that is really actually awful. I think it's a really awful thing that it doesn't happen, that we are not taught this from childhood, how to value ourselves, how to look after ourselves, how to respect and protect ourselves. I mean, who needs to know the square root of something? Wouldn't it be better if we were taught how to, nurture ourselves, how to meditate maybe, how to journal, maybe learning how to place money on stocks and shares, like crypto, making our money work for us. None of that is taught, yet we know the square root. Great. So another part of this is saying positive things about, yeah, I know, Pavel, you're absolutely right. I can't obviously talk about this, but you are so right. I wish I could, but I can't. They'll take me off and I don't want that. So yeah, saying positive things to yourself. Okay, this is the start. Like, saying positive things to yourself is very important. If you think back to your day or your morning, depending on where you are in the world, what positive things have you said to yourself today? I hope you have said something positive to yourself, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring awareness to how we treat ourselves. This is why I'm kind of like asking you questions, so it helps you to think about how you are managing you. Like, what do you do for you? Okay, so I really hope that you have said positive things to yourself. Being assertive is another aspect as well. All right, this is using your discernment, not sitting in that fog, in that cloud. This is about really being aware of what's going on around you. Okay, being aware of what is going on around you is very important, because we have to use our discernment. It is up to us to do that, to be aware. Who are the people around you? Maybe at work, maybe in a shopping mall, maybe at the grocery store. What's going on around you? Being assertive so that you're safe all the time. Okay? This is what is very, very important. To have protection in place. I know you don't need it all the time. I'm not saying all the time, but just to be aware. I'm not saying that you have to be, paranoid or anxious or anything like that. That's not what this is about. It's just about, just paying attention to what's going on, not being half asleep, not, cognitive fog or this cloud that's over your head. None of that. It's just being assertive day to day. It's also about not letting others take advantage of you. This is what I mean about being assertive. It's not letting others take advantage or abuse you. Because if somebody is taking advantage of you, that is abuse. And if you feel like something isn't right, then it's not right. And this is about trusting your gut. All right? Trusting your instinct. This is what is very important. This is what is going to save your life. We are all born with this gift, yet some people choose not to tap into it. Some people choose not to listen to it. This is what is going to save your life. This is what I mean. You already have that internal knowledge. You just have to be switched on to listen, because it's very important. This is what will save your life. every single time. Guys, if you're enjoying the live so far, please press the like button. That would be amazing. Thank you. The other thing to think about is prioritizing your health and your well-being. Your health and your well-being, that is your responsibility. I wish I could do it for you. I really do. I wish I could do it for all of you. But really, this is your responsibility. So just going to do a little announcement. Okay, so I now am on Discord. I'm going to talk about the other bit in a minute. So I am now on Discord, and this is another platform. I don't know it too well, but the moderator, who is very good at, he knows it all. He will show you around. He will tell you a little bit more about it in the comments. I will be going live over on Discord, so there will be more ways to interact with me. You also, it's a great way to communicate with one another as well. If you wanted to make connections with one another, if you wanted more advice or some more information, then this is a great platform to be able to connect with one another and build a more kind of robust community. So if it's something that you're interested in, I'm going to put all the details. I'm going to put all the details in the description box. And if any of you want to join or want to explore it, please do. I'm also new to the platform, so I'll be honest, I don't know much about it. I don't, but I will learn, guys. I will learn more about Discord. Apparently, this is the new thing that's like everyone's like talking about it. So hey, you'll find me on there as well. So yeah, so it's more about like discussions. I will be going live on there as well. I'm not sure yet because it's still kind of in the early stages and it is being set up. But if any of you are interested, then all the details will be in the description box. Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, we are talking about prioritizing your health and your well-being. So your health, guys, your health. This is how well your body is functioning, okay? This is about your health is your wealth. And this really is about what you're feeding yourself, how you are looking after your body, because remember, we are a whole system. It's not just the mind, it's not just the heart, it's a whole system. Okay, and it's really important because that comes under self-love as well. Like, how do you look after yourself? What do you do for your body? Could it be that maybe, you know, you have what's it called, oh my god, salt baths? How how did I even forget the word for that? I don't know. Salt baths, lavender baths, magnesium thing baths. You know, that's looking after your body, your skin. That's trying to relieve, you know, tired muscles, for example. Could it be that, you know, maybe you go and work out, you go for a walk? That's you looking after your health. Food is another really important factor in your self-care. Are you eating the right foods? You need to start eating more alkaline-based foods. When we are in a constant state of fear, constant state of anxiety, some of us depression, you know, our body produces a lot of acid, okay? And acid kills us, as we know. It's very important for us to alkalize our bodies, okay? Our systems, absolutely free-falling, lots of vitamins. This is what is important, all right? Pavel, you do yoga, amazing. Yoga is just the amazing thing. It's brilliant. This is really helpful as well. So really looking after your physical body is important. It's about getting the right nutrients as well. Are you getting the right nutrients? Are you alkalizing your system? The water, are you drinking enough water, for example? The pH balance of that water, what is it? We really should be drinking like 7.5, 8 pH upwards. This is really important. Alkalizing your system to get, if your body is alkalized, then it's very healthy. All your organs can work in a healthy way, in the correct way. Angel says, can you do a video on how to support system can truly make all the difference? Yes, I will, but I won't be posting it on YouTube. It will go probably into the mentorship. Those kind of videos that I will be doing is more like for the mentorship, simply because it's just that I know it's really helpful for the collective. I completely get that, but it's just not something that's going to get picked up by the algorithm for YouTube. And I just think it'd be more beneficial for the mentorship. And if you would like to join, then again, it's in the description box underneath this video. This would be really great if you guys were to join. Yeah, because I do put out like recipes. Well, there will be more recipes going in there, but also all of this kind of advice will be in there. Absolutely. Epsom salt, that was it. Thank you very much. Yes, Epsom salt. And you're right, free-falling apple cider vinegar is good for the body. Absolutely, I swear by that stuff. I think it's amazing stuff. Really good. Does tea and coffee count? Yes, I think in this country we do need our tea. Not gonna lie, I do love my tea. Yes, and coffee, but don't drink too much, because too much caffeine can induce anxiety-like symptoms, and it causes our heart to kind of palpitate a bit too much. So don't overdo it, Sean. Don't overdo it. But of course, whatever makes you happy. Darlene says, eat lots of greens. That's it. That's how you alkaline your system, with a lot of vegetables, green leafy vegetables like kale, spinach, broccoli. I love broccoli. Oh my God, I eat it like near enough every day. I don't know why. I just absolutely love broccoli. Lemons are wonderful. I do love lemons as well. So yes, cutting up some lemons, some lemon juice with some hot water and honey in the morning, amazing stuff. Although I've got to admit that I don't do it. I don't do that every day. I don't, but I know it's good for you. Yes, you drink 2 to 3 coffees a day. Yeah, I have been over the last few days. It's a bit much though. Need to cut down. One with coffee, 7 probiotics every. Sean, go on. You're a warrior. 7 probiotics every day. Sean, you need to be here. You need to be here talking about this. This is also really good. And black coffee. Now, this is something that I have been trying. I have been trying so hard to drink black coffee at least once a day. Because I do have 2 coffees a day. And yeah, the black coffee, it's just not going down well. It's just, I don't know, it's just not going down well. I'm trying though. I'm really trying. Fermented vegetables are great. Yeah, they're also really good. Yes, like also like kimchi and sauerkraut, that sort of thing. That's really good to alkalize your system. Very, very good. Yes. Kale smoothie early on. Sean, you are smashing it today. Seriously, you need to be here. You need to be here and talking about this. Yeah, so I do try matcha. Yes, matcha tea. I have been craving that over the last few days. I have been on it with the matcha. I really love it. I don't know why. Just last few days really have really wanted that. I don't know how people drink caramelized ice cream coffees. Yes, it's just disgusting. I don't like that either. Broccoli and cheese. Yes, broccoli and Stilton soup. Love that soup. So good, so good. It's just the cheese bit. I can't have that cheese. It really, really plays havoc with my stomach. Yes. And yeah, kimchi, that's really good. Probio 7 is a great brand of probiotics. Okay, so Probio 7, I need to check that out, Sean. I will do. I think I will try that. Definitely. Sorry, I'm readjusting. So can you see, guys? Like, I think you all know. You kind of have all got this. Like, you get the gist of it, of how important, like food is for your health. All right. Health is wealth. Okay. It's another form of wealth. And exercise as well. We should really be raising our heart rate, at least once a day. I also try to do this, but I don't every single day. I know life takes over. I know work takes over. So it's not always possible. But even, I don't know, doing some burpees in the front room, or in the kitchen is a great way to raise your heart rate, or maybe just running on the spot or doing star jumps. This is also great. Look, I probably don't do this. I'm not gonna lie. I probably don't do this. I probably chase the dog up and down the stairs. That raises my heart rate, and I do, because he is a gremlin, this dog of mine. Yeah. So really important to raise your heartbeat, to get that blood rushing around your body. It's not good to stay stagnant. And still, I know a lot of our jobs are all about sitting in front of the computer, and we don't get to move about so much. So really important, another way to help get that blood pumping around your body. Another thing that is really good for self-care and self-love is spending time with supportive people. This is also really important. Connection to others, not only connection to yourself, but also connection to others. I know that within these toxic relationships, a lot of you were probably isolated and not allowed to be around other people or to go out as much as you wanted to. So this is really important as well, to connect to others. People who support you, people who have got your back, people who care about you. It also makes you feel good. When you spend time, like when you go out with your friends and you have that wonderful time, there's there's those few groups of friends that every time you see them, you're going to have a wonderful time. I've been seeing my friends as well. I haven't seen them since before I went away to Greece, actually. And just seeing them has been so lovely. Oh, hello. Thank you, Sarah. Doing laundry is the extent of my exercise. Bless you. Yeah, but you know what? That is a marathon in itself. I know that when I've got to do laundry as well, there is just literally basket after basket after basket, because I don't do little bits. I just leave it all for one day. Listen, but don't take advice from me, because I'm really bad at keeping everything tidy and in order. I really need someone who would be able to put clothes away from me. I literally have a Chinese laundry in my bedroom, which isn't good. It's really not good. And it's not only there, it's in another room as well. So I have clothes everywhere. Anyway, back to the live. Yes. So supportive people. I was talking about my friends. Yeah, just, when you go out with friends and, the ones that you maybe haven't seen for quite some time, because obviously you don't have the time to see them all the time, but it's really important that you do connect to others. Really important that you see friends. I do need a personal assistant. I really, really need one. Any offers? Does anyone want to be my PA, please? Anyone, send over your CV. It'd be amazing. Hello, E. You're right. I don't know how you do it, Anushka. I spend time with a broken hearted. It messes me, good people, and get hurt bad and a toll sometimes. Yes, it's true. It does take a toll. Literally, things all over the place. Yes, Sean, I've got a tumble dryer. That is literally constantly on all the time. Yes. Anyway, spending time with supportive people. Really, really important. If you can't get out, then maybe call them. Do a video chat perhaps, or maybe call them. It's good to reach out. Good to reach out. Another part of your self-care is recognizing your strengths. I know it's important to recognize who you are, what you're good at, your values, all the things that make you you. And again, this is about exploring that. This is about valuing you, connection to self. Or ultimately, it's connecting to yourself. It's about being friends with yourself. Do you know, maybe it might be an idea to take yourself on a date. Like just do something by yourself. For example, I really like traveling by myself. I really like it. I think it opens the mind. I think you experience a hell of a lot of things. And you know what? And I've got to say this from personal experience. You meet so many people. When I was in Greece, I don't know, I had met so many people and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So, guys, I really would recommend, just doing something. I'm not saying you've got to travel the world on your own. I'm not saying that. If you want to, please do. You'll have an amazing experience. But what I am saying is just to do things with you, for yourself. Like, I don't know, go for a coffee, go for some food, go to the cinema on your own. Like just Midnight Blue, wonderful. That is so I'm so glad you could be my assistant. It means putting clothes away, hoovering, organizing things, and maybe cooking sometimes. Thanks. So it's really about valuing you, valuing your feelings, being your friend, connecting to yourself, understanding you, because you are all worth it. No one is going to love you the way that you love yourself. No one is going to look out for you the way that you look out for yourself. No one is going to be there, and no one is going to tell you the wrong thing, because you know. And when we are connected to ourselves, this is what is the most important. It's about being assertive, about being that person that looks out for you, that person who is always going to be there. Do you know what? You are going to be the longest friendship with yourself that you will ever know, or you are going to be with yourself for the rest of your life. So wouldn't it be important that you are friends with yourself, that you love you, that you care about you? You are going to be in this body, for example, you got to care about this, and you are going to be with yourself for the rest of your life. So like I'm saying, wouldn't it be important that you have the best connection to you, the best friendship, and you look after you? One thing I will say though is I completely get that a lot of us have come from an upbringing where we weren't taught this, or we weren't shown how to look after ourselves or care for ourselves. Maybe we've come from a family where emotions weren't really talked about, weren't really recognized. They were shut down. I know for the kind of like the men that are watching the live right now, I know that perhaps many of you have been told not to feel emotions because that is weak, or, that's what women do. Men have emotions too. And I think it's really important to bring this up, that actually you were kind of taught not to recognize or not to be in touch with your emotions. But actually, it's really important that you are, because you also have emotions. Us women have emotions. It's the same kind of thing. So it's important for that connection to yourself, and recognize, open up to yourself, be more assertive and more kinder to yourself. And this is for the guys out there, because I know that you were probably not taught to recognize this. You're probably taught to like sweep it under the carpet, like, come on, head up, keep going, carry on. Don't be a woman, don't be a girl. And I hear it a lot with my male clients, you know, who have had these sorts of upbringings. They've not been shown how to look at their emotions or even recognize what they are feeling. And actually, a lot of them don't talk about what they're feeling. It's important to do that. And it doesn't mean you're weak at all, guys. It really doesn't. Okay? You're stronger than you think. So, you know, going back to what I was saying, yeah, a lot of us are not, or we weren't shown as children because we'd grown up in families where this wasn't really talked about or it wasn't really explored. And so we were never shown how to care for ourselves, because if we're not shown what self-care is or what self-love is or anything like that, then you know, we would have grown up with unhealthy models of self-love, and we were not shown how to, like, it wasn't part of the daily narrative within our households. So going up into adulthood, how can we then do that? How can we then recognize it? It's only after perhaps maybe a toxic experience, or we've had these individuals in our lives, that we actually recognize that this is what is important. Ourselves, the connection to self. And it's not that I'm trying to blame anybody's parents. Of course I'm not. That's not what I'm doing here, because, you know, like in the older generation, again, this wasn't shown. I know that from, you know, like communist backgrounds, for example, this was not at all even talked about or even whispered about. Like, you just carried on. And I'm only using that as an example because of my own experiences. Not that I didn't grow up in a communist country. I grew up in London, but I'm just saying my parents did. And you know, the ideals there, you know, like, it's just stand up, carry on, like, you know, everything's fine. Hello, guy next door. Thank you so much. What about ghosting? Any tips on how to deal with it? I'm tired of being ghosted online, and it seems like toxic people do it more often. Do you know what, guy next door? Do you know what I would say to you is detach from it. I know it's easier said than done. But when somebody is silent and somebody doesn't want to talk to you, let them. Do you know what? It's their loss. I would say don't get too drawn into it. They're obviously doing it for a reason. They're obviously ghosting you for a reason. They've held all communication. There's an agenda behind it. So what I would say to you is don't get too drawn into it. Detach from it, because it is going to do your head in trying to work it out. And you probably know the reason why these people or this person is being like that to you. Yeah, just detach from it, because you're just going to try and figure it out. And it's like, you're not going to. So it's better that you just leave it and don't try and work out why. It's not because of anything that you have done or anything that you should have, would have, and maybe didn't do. It's not about that. It's more about the fact that it shows who this person is. Why would you just ghost someone? Why can't you just talk? Why can't you just say it? Human beings talk to one another. They communicate. And when someone withholds communication just like that for no reason, well, that says a lot more about them than it does you. Let them get on with it. That's their loss, not yours. Honestly, don't get too drawn into it. I hope that's helped. I really do. So going back to our childhoods, our parents maybe didn't show us. And so we then struggle to see what self-love is, and we struggle to connect to ourselves. And it's such a shame. It is really such a shame that we have to get to this point. But it doesn't mean that we can't self-parent ourselves and give us that we didn't as children. As children, we didn't have those choices. We didn't have those options to be able to do that, because we didn't know that is what, like, we were missing or something that we were looking for. Now we do. As adults, we can make choices. We can make decisions for ourselves. Think of it this way: we're like kids who have got money now, and we can do these things, or we can go and experience certain things. So as adults, you now can make that decision. You now, can parent yourself and give yourself what, you didn't get. It doesn't mean that we have to remain victims. And again, we are not victims. I say this probably in every live, and that's absolutely fine. But we are not victims of circumstance. We can make changes. We can do things for ourselves, things that will elevate us, make us feel good, level up. That's what's important here. We rise up. We don't remain victims of circumstance. Who wants to do that? No. We are better than that. We realize a lot. And so now we have choice. So guys, if you're enjoying the live so far, please do give it a like. This will really help with the algorithm, picks it up and be able to, send the information out there to people who maybe, might need it, might get this information out there. Victoria says, how do you deal with hot and cold behavior from a covert narcissist? It causes anxiety, frustration. Yeah, it will do. It will do. But that's just it. It's hot and cold. There's never any stability. It's not fluid. It's all to do with how the covert narcissist wants to make you feel at that time. Do you know what I would say to you is you need to detach, my dear. You need to detach from it, because the thing is, it's constantly going to cause frustration and anxiety within you. And when you detach from something and you don't need to supply that person with your attention and your kindness, because remember, this is about being assertive, and this is about treating yourself with kindness and giving yourself permission to be able to do that. Victoria, I really would say to you, my dear, is just literally detach. Like, this is a narcissist that you're talking about, all right? This is a narcissist, and for you to be free from that, you have to just honestly let them go, just leave, or just detach emotionally from them. This does take time, this does take practice, so keep on at it. There isn't any other way. There isn't any other way. You need to detach, because you will be in this cycle. You will be held prisoner for the rest of your life if you don't. And you know what? If you make that choice, then okay, but you will be feeling anxiety and you will be feeling awful, like, all the time. Like, enough is never enough with them. So I hope that helps. Okay, so this has just reminded me. Actually, I want to do a little exercise with you guys. All right, and it is called scripting. I don't know if any of you have ever done this. All right. And then after we do this exercise, I'm going to talk about self-love versus narcissism. But I wanted to do this scripting exercise with you guys. Scripting is writing. Scripting is about writing your future life or your dream life or things that you want. It's more about like visualization and manifestation work. It's about bringing to life what you think up here, what you want your life to look like. So if you guys are ready, don't have to do it today, but it's just something that I think, I wanted to bring this to the live because I do like doing these little exercises, and I think it really helps. This is more kind of experiential, and this is something that you guys can kind of do over the week. Okay, so what I want you to do this week is to write a memoir, all right? A memoir of 2023. So it's kind of like you'd be writing this memoir in December 2023, except you're writing it now. And I want you to write it in the past tense. And I want you to get really specific. And in this memoir, what you're going to do is you're going to write how this year is going to go, how you want this year to go. And I want you to get really specific. You could even write the different months on what you're going to achieve, how you want them to look like, what you're going to do, So I want you to write it and take your time. It can take your time over a few days, or you might be just one day this evening if that's all the time that you've got. And yeah, just really write about how you want this year to, how this year is going to go for you. And then what I want you to do is I want you to fold that piece of paper, or, you know, if you're typing it, kind of put that file it away somewhere that you're not going to look at it every week or every month. This is something that you write and you release. Okay? You write it and you release it. And don't look at the don't think of like how you are going to get there, or how this is going to happen, or how, like, say for example you'd written, I don't know, that you want to travel to Bali in August, for example. And right now maybe you don't have the funds in your bank account, you know, that you're going to achieve it, but you want to go to Bali in August. Okay? So just keep saying that. Bali in August. I'm going to go to Bali in August. That's what's going to happen. All right? Don't worry how it's going to happen. We don't know. Maybe you might have a windfall of money, whatever. So I just want you to put that piece of paper away, or you file that, you know, that writing or that document in your computer somewhere for later. And that's your homework. That's what I want you guys to do. So I hope that you enjoy this exercise. Okay, so we're going to talk about self-love versus narcissism. So it's like I was always saying before, you know, someone in the comments had written, that isn't self-love, narcissistic. And I thought that was a really good point, which is why I want to mention it today. So there's a difference between self-love and there's a difference between narcissism. All right. So narcissism is very much like putting yourself on a pedestal and making sure that everybody else around you can see that. Everybody else around you needs to believe that. That's what narcissism is. It's about exploiting that. Whereas self-love is about treating yourself with kindness and respect. That is the main difference between narcissism and self-love. So if somebody ever maybe thinks that, oh, maybe I'm being a bit selfish, you know, by doing this, or maybe not going to see my friends, or maybe I'm not, maybe I'm taking too much time. No. You're not being selfish. You are looking after your own needs. You are looking after your own well-being. And that is what's important. That is what it is about. A narcissist can't do this for themselves. A narcissist will destroy. A narcissist will take this from somebody else and take it as their own. A narcissist will want others to see that they are wonderful. They'll lie. The narcissist will take from you. They will obsess over you. They will put you on a pedestal, but then they will want you to do that for them. They'll be abusive in other ways. But this is where you need to take your power back. This is where you need to realize that treating yourself with respect is your responsibility. Treating yourself with kindness is your responsibility, because nobody is going to do that for you. You need to do it for yourself. That is what is important. That is your birthright. It is your duty to yourself to do this for you. No one else is going to do it for you. And I think that's the main issue, is that we expect others to make us happy, or we expect others to show us kindness first. But if you have expectations of others, you're always going to feel let down, because you're always going to expect something from someone else, and people always will defy your expectations. I know that's a really sad thing to come to realization, but people are always going to, defy your expectations, because, people behave in different ways. People are kind. Usually there are kind people out there. And even though people, even though you have expectations of this person, they will most probably let you down because you're expecting them to behave in a certain way. Yes, it's a little bit controlling. It's a little bit like what the narcissist does, but remember, they make it happen. They will make the outcome happen. Whereas you are thinking that this person will behave in that way. So it's better to just let go of expectations of others. And we give that to ourselves. We make our own selves happy. I understand that maybe if you're in a relationship and, you want your partner to make you happy, or for them to make you happy, but that's great, but it's not their responsibility to make you happy. It's nice that they do at certain points, but they can't keep doing it all the time. So if you're feeling sad, or you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling in a low mood, again, it's not their responsibility to make you happy. It's not their responsibility to lift you up. They'll try because they're good people, yes, of course. But we can't have these expectations of them to do that all the time. That's a really good point, Arthur. I really like what you wrote. Arthur Phoenix wrote, be proactive. If you are not being proactive, you are being reactive. I love that. That is so true. You are reacting, you're not responding. So this is really about taking that power back, taking that onus back on you. That's right, Lynn. Expect soothing from your own self. This is about self-soothing. This is about self-parenting, like what we were talking about earlier. This is about you being in control of you, in control of your expectations, your emotions, and you giving yourself what it is that you need. Because other people, if you really look at it, like, I don't know, like if you look around, like maybe you've got friends or family, and when people place expectations and expect others to do things for them, other people become a little bit resentful. I know that I would. If someone kept asking me to do something, or for example, oh yes, I give you an example. I remember when I was working at the clinic, there was this one of my colleagues. She lived not far from me, but it was a bit of an annoyance, because she lived like literally 10 minutes that way, 10 minutes out, and then I would have to drive another 10 minutes. That's 20 minutes. And usually when I used to work at the clinic, I'd be rushing home because I'd need to make dinner, and then I'd have clients in the evening. So I was already tired. So because I lived near her, she kind of had an expectation that I would drive her home. It's only 10 minutes, guys. I get it. But that 10 minutes turns into 20 minutes, and there's always traffic. Around where I live, there is always traffic. This is very annoying. Believe me, this is very annoying. But this is what I mean. She had the expectation that every day that I would take her home. So I'd sometimes have to come up with these elaborate excuses. And sometimes they were very elaborate. And I think then she kind of didn't expect it every single day. I did it sometimes, but not always. And this is what I mean. Be assertive. Don't have expectations of others. It got annoying. Guys, it really got annoying. And I'm just being truthful. It's not that I'm stingy. I'm not, because I'm fine with giving people lifts. But every day, yeah, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing, guys. So this is about respecting yourself. And if no is the answer, then no is the answer. That's it, guys. That's right, Fee Falling. Get yourself a dog. They will always give you unconditional love. Guys, you don't know how true that is. That is very, very true. So, yes. So, this is what I was, sorry, I was just reading the comments. So really, yeah, it's about not having those expectations of others. It's about you having that responsibility for yourself. Okay. If you get one chicken nugget, you could get in the habit of eating chicken nuggets. But aren't they so good, especially from McDonald's? How bad is that? I haven't eaten McDonald's for quite some time, actually. But they are good. But they're so bad. So, yeah, not good. Yes, the guy next door is talking to her wonderful church. Yes, so, sorry, I was just reading the comments again. Anyway, so guys, remaining assertive, having not having expectations of others is really important. You know, really important for you to kind of move forward and like having that control over your own emotions, understanding your own boundaries, understanding when to say no, like not to give people lifts. You know, these are the things that are really going to make you feel whole, are really going to help you to level up, connect back to yourself. And that's really what this is about. This is about you recognizing your own true worth. This is about, you know, putting these practices into place to make you feel stronger, to make you feel healthier. You know, when you get this, equilibrium right, okay, and you are on it, you are, and you're feeling good, you will see how much your life changes. You will see how good you actually feel. The narcissist will be a distant memory from the past. It's like they've never even existed. Honestly, your mindset will completely change. But the reason why we remain stuck trying to understand why this happened, why this didn't happen, why are they doing this, why that, we're still attached onto them. We're still attached onto what has happened and why it's happened. These people were in our lives for a reason. Okay? That's why. They've come into our life for a reason. So that's fine, but we've got to look at the lesson that they're trying to teach us. Not look at what they have done to us. Yes, what they have done to us is bloody awful. It really is. It's so awful what has happened. However, okay, we detach. We have to detach, because the more that we don't, the more we get drawn into it. This is why I say to you guys who had these questions, like, what do I do? Victoria, there was a question from Victoria. She was saying that she felt so anxious and upset and everything. But that's what they do. The more that we are attached onto what is happening and why they are doing this, they're doing this because they're not emotionally well, right? So they're doing it. They don't have another way of being. This is the way that they are. All right. So even though they're aware of what they are doing, it's because of this internal need that needs to get met. This is why they behave in this way. This is why they do the things they do to us. It's because that's who they are. It's their own inability to be able to connect to themselves, so they expect others to do things for them. Yeah. So this is why I'm saying it's really important for us to detach from trying to, you already know the answer. You already know why this has happened. Yes, you didn't get closure. Yes, it didn't come from the horse's mouth, but you know why you are here. You know who they are. The thing is, I say this quite a lot to a lot of my clients. So a lot of my clients say to me, Anushka, I think I am the narcissist. And I say, no, you're not. And the reason why you're not why they're not is because they wouldn't be working on themselves. They wouldn't be coming to therapy. They wouldn't want to work things out. Narcissists don't do that. Narcissists don't work on themselves. Narcissists can't give themselves self-love. If self-love means putting yourself on a pedestal and making everyone believe it, or submitting everyone to believing that with your lies, then that's narcissistic self-love. Great. You don't do that. That's not what we do here. This is about treating ourselves with kindness and respect. And having self-respect, having, like our values. What are our values? These are the things that make us us. Things that we believe in. Things that are important to us. So this is about our own life, how we want to shape it. How do we want it to be? How do we want our future to be? This is why I gave you that exercise, because this is what you're doing is you're creating your whole year. You'll see that you will achieve a lot of those things. Come December 2023, you will see that you have achieved a lot of the things that you have wanted to on your scripting exercise, on your memoir of 2023. Because what you're doing is you're programming the subconscious mind. You already know how you want this year to go. You already have an outline. I have an outline of how I want my year to be. I kind of know what I'm going to be doing from month to month. And so this is about writing it down. Planning. That's what you're doing. You are putting a plan in place. But I want you to detach from how it's going to happen. It's like I gave you the example. You want to go to Bali in August. You just right now, it's just like you don't have the money to pay for the ticket and for the accommodation. Don't worry about it. You're sending that out there, and you're programming your mind. Who knows, tomorrow you might win the lottery. Who knows, tomorrow your friend, you bump into your friend and they're saying they're going to Bali and here's a free ticket. Who knows what happens? And that is the magic of life, okay? But really, it's about detachment, all right? It's not about controlling the circumstances. That's what narcissists do. Leave that to them. They control. We detach. It's important that, yes, of course, having a plan in place, knowing what we're doing, but when we get too focused and too attached onto the outcome of what's going to happen, this isn't good, all right? Because this can really ruin your mental health, trying to find out what's going to happen next, why this needs to happen like this, why that needs to happen like that. That's not what this is about. What you need to do is you need to detach. You're programming your subconscious mind, all right, into achieving what it is that you want. And this really, really is important. This is, when we detach, okay, this is, like a lot of our mental health is calmed, because there's a book written about it, like how detachment is healthy mental health or something like that. I think it's called, I don't know. I think it's called that. I'll find it and I'll write it in the comments. So it's about when we detach, we're not going to direct things to go a certain way. Yes, we know where we want to get to. We know where we want to arrive at this point, but what we're not going to do is get too attached to how it's going to happen. And that is the thing, guys. When we understand that certain things happen in a certain way, we don't need to know how we're going to get there. This is part of the magic of, right, how we are going to get there. What we need to know is we know that thing will happen. We know that we're going to be going to Bali, but we just don't know how. We don't know what's going to happen in the middle bit. And that's the magic. So it's about detachment. Not trying to overthink something, but what, but why, but where. That is what causes anxiety, because we're trying to overthink, we're trying to understand, we're trying to think what is going on with that person, what is that person thinking, why are they behaving like that, why is that happening? you're never going to know 100%. And even if you do work it out and you probably arrive at the truth, you're going to doubt yourself, because that's what we do as human beings. You're not going to be able to work it out. So what we have to do is we have to let go. Have to let go. Sean, please do a vision board. You must do a vision board. That is your specific homework this week. Do a vision board. We should all be doing vision boards. It's really important. I watched a YouTube video about that the other day, actually, about vision boarding. And I tell you something, oh my God, this really, really works. It really, really works. It is magic. It is absolute magic. But this really does prove the power of the mind. Okay? The power of our mind. It is so phenomenal. What our mind can achieve, our subconscious mind. You know, I also had a friend. I haven't seen her for quite some while, actually. She was a hypnotherapist, and she did hypnotherapy on me. I said, just do it on me. I really want to see what it's like, because I've never had it done. And this is another true story, guys. It's another true story. Yeah, she'd come over to mine. This was a couple of years ago now. She'd come over to mine. She's like, right, we're gonna do the hypnotherapy, Anushka, but you have to be Marni, hello. This is such a pleasure to have you on the live. Oh my gosh. Everyone, Marni Hill. This is so amazing. If any of you would like to purchase any of her books, please see the description box. You'll be able to purchase her amazing, amazing work. So I would encourage you all to check that out. So yes. Oh, Marni, it's so nice to have you here. She'd come over to mine and she said, Anushka, we're gonna do this hypnotherapy. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. She goes, but Anushka, you can't resist it. You know, like, because I'd been taught how to do it. So I was just thinking, okay, I know what's gonna happen. Like, I know. She's like, Anushka, you cannot resist it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go. Anyway, so she did this on me, and she put me. I was in a really deep meditative state, and it got to a point where I just didn't hear her voice anymore. She was just repeating. You know, like, I don't know if any of you have had hypnotherapy. You know, it's like the stair method where it goes down. 10, you are falling into sleep. 9, you are falling into a deeper sleep. You know, and then it goes all the way down to 1. Anyway. Okay, so I was going. It was in that method, and I remember that I didn't remember hearing anything, and I remember, like, she said, Anushka, lift your left arm up, and it was as though I wasn't in control anymore. But what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to give the example, is that our subconscious mind is powerful. What we are doing with our vision boards, what we're doing with our scripting, is we are programming, or we are putting into place what it is that we want. And that is what is important here. Okay. Hello, Maria. Really lovely for you to join me as well. Thank you. We are programming our subconscious mind, because what we are saying is, we want this. This is what we want to achieve, but we are letting go of the process in between. And that's ultimately what this is. This is part of your self-care as well. This is part of you also planning, part of you designing the life that you want. I remember when I was studying the psychology, and I never thought that I would get to this point. You know, I never thought that I would achieve the things that I have. And what I realized whilst I was studying psychology is that each and every one of us can be whoever we want to be. In that, I mean that you can achieve great things. We all have the ability and the capability to do that, to achieve that. You know, it's important that we do. It's important that we sit in that belief that actually we can, and we do have that power. We are so powerful that do you know what? We don't even realize. We are led to not realize that. We are capped at a certain point that we are not allowed to realize just how powerful we are. But actually we can achieve, we can bring our dreams to life. Whatever it is that we imagine, whatever it is that we want in our lives, we can have, we can achieve. Yes, these people have been put in our way to stop us from achieving this, to stop us from having these things, to stop us from believing in ourselves. But we cannot use that as an excuse. Those people are gone, they're done, it's gone. What we do now is we take control of our lives. We take control of what it is that we want, and then we achieve that, because that is our birthright. That is what is important that we do. And you can. Because if you're going to stay in the mentality that you can't, if you're going to stay in that thought process that, oh, you know, this has happened to me, this is really, really bad, this, you're putting excuses in place. And these excuses are blocks. Okay, these are things that stop you from achieving what it is that you want. We can use these tools such as scripting, such as meditation, hypnotherapy, vision boards. All of these things are tools to help us to get to what is already owed to us, to what is already important to us. We are powerful. We just got to open ourselves up, and that belief, the belief that actually we can achieve what it is that we want, that we can have what it is that we want. It is only out there that we have been told no, that we can't, and we've got to stay small, but we don't. We don't. This is an illusion. This is an illusion that we stay small. We don't. We've got to achieve these things. We've got to make that happen. It is our birthright. We need to make healthy choices for ourselves. We need to be assertive. We need to accept ourselves. We need to love ourselves. We need to respect. We need to grow. We can't stay in this mentality for the rest of our lives, because look where it's got us. We need to think big. We need to level up. That is what is important. That is what is our birthright. And every day you can do something towards it. Every day. Like, for example, your vision board. You can collect images. You can collect things that mean something to you. You know, you do something little every single day. For example, maybe meditation. Maybe not all of us are at that point where we can meditate, because I know that it's really hard, you know, when our mind is racing, you know, it's important for us to do little bits every single day. Because then, again, you're programming your mind. Remember, you're in control. You're in control. You create. You're the creator. What it is that you want to achieve, you put it in place. You don't need to think that, you know, is it too late, or, you know, I can't do this. You can. It's never too late. We can start at any point in our life. And it starts with you. It starts with you deciding how you want your life to be, how you want to attract positive things into your life. How are you going to make it happen? What things can you do starting from today to make that happen, to make your dream happen? That's a really good point, Lynn. Ruminating. Ruminating, yeah. So this is like overthinking, constantly overthinking. One way to help with rumination, to help you get unstuck from that, is sometimes listening to music, listening to songs that you like. It stops the thinking, the overthinking all the time. Or maybe write down what it is that you're thinking. Do you know what? Oh, do you know what would be really good? If whatever you're thinking about, or if it's a person that you're thinking about, I would encourage you to write a letter, but don't you dare ever send it. Don't send this letter. This was an exercise that I really love doing. It's called the unsent letter. And this was about you writing a letter to someone, telling them exactly what you want to say to them but can't, because maybe you don't have the opportunity, maybe you're not in contact with them anymore, maybe it's that they don't let you speak. And so writing this letter would to help to release all of the pent up emotions, all of the things that maybe you'd want to say, so they're not stuck in your mind. But sending that letter would not make a difference. It actually helped them, because then they know how you feel. So what would be really good is for you to write it down. What is it that you are thinking about? What is going on for you? Why are you ruminating? Why is this going on and on and on, in your mind? So when you're writing it down, you're releasing it. And that is what's important. It's about releasing it, but also detaching. It's about changing your mindset, changing where you are, so that the thoughts kind of like stop, or maybe writing them down, maybe trying to like work with them. So I hope that helps, Lynn. I hope that really helps. Yes, music is food for the soul. I love music. I love songs. I love music. I don't know. There's certain songs that really get to me. Like I really feel them in my heart. There's certain songs that really get to me. I'm sure that is the same for you guys. Um, Lynn, you're right. Yes, another year will go by whether we do something with our lives or not. But you're absolutely right. It's important for us to put things in place for what we want to achieve. How do we want our life to be? What is it that you want from this year? Because you're the only one that can achieve it. You're the only one that can make this happen. What is it that you want from this year? Like, for example, what I want to achieve this year is I want to get to 100K subs, for example. That's one of the things that I really want to manifest. You know, I really would love that. I would like, obviously, like for it to grow, but that's what I want. I want it to grow. I want to help more people. It's not about the number, it's about helping. It's about growing the channel so that the information can get out there. So what is it that you want to achieve from this year? For example, I want to go to Greece again this year. That's another thing that I want to do. Maybe with Maria this time. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, free falling. I'm sorry that I've kept you up. Oh, I really hope that you do get to sleep. I know I try to make these lives at a time that it will work for everybody. But it's really tough. It's hard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, writing the letter and then burning it. Absolutely, burning it or ripping it up and maybe like put it in the ocean or a river or something, just so it takes it away. So yeah, this is something that's really important. It's about releasing, getting that out there on paper, and just releasing it. That is what is important. So this live really was about you guys. It's about you. I really wanted this live or the topic, to really help you to really recognize how important it is to look after ourselves, how important a job it is that nobody else can do, only you. How important it is to fall in love and respect yourself, to look after yourself. Because this is your birthright. When we don't actively put ourselves first, There's so many things that happen. There's so many things that go wrong. There's so many things that we miss. So when we keep ourselves strong, psychologically, emotionally, and physically, we are bringing the best version of ourselves to the table. And how you treat yourself is how others see you. And that is another important thing. It's about our energy as well. I really wanted to add this bit in as well. It's about our energy, what we project out there, how we hold ourselves, our posture. Do we hold our head up? Do we sit straight? You know, because I talked about this in a few lives, you know, it's to do with our posture and the way that we hold ourselves, the way that we represent ourselves. You know, if we walk tall, you know, shoulders back, head up, then we show that we are confident, that we have self-worth, and we're self-assured. And that is important. That brings out positivity. People will want to approach you. People want to be your friends. Opportunities will come your way. Alternatively, you're sad, you're looking at the pavement, you're looking down at the pavement. Missed opportunities. We don't see the beauty that is around us. We miss these opportunities. So these are the things that we really need to think about, because they're very important for us to achieve what it is that we want, to bring about the gifts that we want for our life. Our energy is everything. But if we put the right ingredients in and mix it, we come up with this beautiful result. And that's what energy is. It's about how we feel about ourselves. Our energy affects the way we think, the way that we move our body, the way that we hold ourselves, the way that we speak about ourselves, the way that we think about ourselves. If you look at somebody, you know if someone has a good energy. You know, you'll know if someone alternatively has a bad energy, because that person doesn't care about themselves. That person doesn't, you know, practice self-care. And this is the thing, each and every one of us have choice. Each and every one of us can achieve this. It's not something that, you know, and it's free. Guys, it's free. It's not something that you have to pay for. It is absolutely free. You can make this happen. You can make your life the way that you want it. And it is for free. You can achieve anything. And that is true. There is a lot of psychological studies that can prove that you can achieve anything that you want. And it's about energy. It's about, you know, how you speak it into existence. It's about all of the practices that you do that make that happen. Yes, absolutely. Getting out into nature is very healing. Nature is healing. The energy of nature. Nature has negative ions within the ground, which is very important for us. It's really good for grounding. It's really good for, sometimes, for example, if you're feeling anxious, walking barefoot really helps, because it helps to ground you. But you also soak up those negative ions, which are very important. Absolutely, Sean. Going to the gym, punching a punch bag. Yes, absolutely. I always recommend the gym because I don't know, like for me, it's worked. I really enjoy lifting weights. For me, that really helps. It's release. For me, it's a release. So that all of us have different things that really work for us. You know, doing acupuncture, doing meditation, yoga, Pilates. For example, I really love, thank you so much, Oxford. Bless you. Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, you know, like I really love horse riding. That for me makes me happy. Haven't been because it's been so cold. But those are the things that I really like doing. It's for my soul. It's soul food for me. I enjoy that. So there must be something that you really enjoy, that really makes you feel good about you. Thank you so much, Lynn. I really, really appreciate you saying that, and I take that as a compliment. Thank you. Um, you know, you have to put yourself first in this life, and that isn't selfish. That isn't selfish at all. Because if you think about it, you came into this life on your own. This is your human experience here, and it is up to you to make it what it is. Yes, you will learn lessons because life is like school. You're constantly learning. You're constantly evolving. But that's why we're here. We're here to learn. And it can be a fantastic journey. It can be the most amazing journey that you have ever been on. But it is what you make it. But remember, with everything, we have choice. We are not victims, and we are not robots, and we are not slaves. We have choice. So it's important for us to choose what is right for us. I really hope that what we have talked about in this live really helped to spark off some ideas that can help you to move forward, help you to maybe put some of these practices in place. I really do hope that you do try the scripting exercise, that you do your vision boards, that you do start to eat healthy, start taking vitamins, start looking after yourself, start thinking about what it is that you want from your life, what you want to do, how will you design your life, what it is that you want. And it will help you to make the right decisions and choices for you. This is about you guys growing stronger, about you elevating, leveling up to the next level. Each and every single one of you can do this because it is your birthright. And you're right, absolutely. Life is incredibly short. You sneeze and it's gone. It's true. But in that time, we have to make it the best experience for us. That is our responsibility. And on that note, guys, I'm going to end it there. We are back next week on Tuesday, back to the normal time. It was only just today. The reason for that is because I have been invited by YouTube to go to an event, and I'm going to tell you all about it next week, guys. And it's happening in the next few days, and so this is why we had to do the live today. But I'll be back next Tuesday for the live, and obviously I'll put out all the options for the poll over the weekend, so do look out for that. I will be back tomorrow with a video which I have obviously forgotten the title. Oh no, I think it's Why the Narcissist Hides. That is going to be out tomorrow instead of obviously the live, and I will be having obviously videos coming out like every day this week, so do check them out. Let me know what you think. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here. As always, I really, really enjoy, being here with you guys. I really do. Like I've got to say, I do read the comments, but maybe not all of them, but I do read them. And it's really nice to connect with you guys on like a personal level like this, because I know you guys watch the videos, but like obviously I don't speak to you guys, but here is such a beautiful way to connect with all of you. I really am grateful for every single one of you. Thank you for being here, and I really do hope that you found value in this information. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great week, and don't forget to do the scripting exercise. All right, bye-bye.